Hey guys, so I want to change pace a little bit today and talk about what it's like owning a small business in America with inflation running the way it is and the recession looming on the horizon, and how it is to operate a small business and try to get through the pitfalls and the trials of owning it in this sort of climate. So one of the things that's amazing right now is a poll just went out that I saw today that said 65% of small businesses say it is very likely or likely that they'll close permanently if inflation continues to rise the way it is. So really what you're going to see, and this is something that I've seen starting to happen in the mall where my store is located, there are a lot of vacancies, and the vacancies that you're starting to see pop up are all small businesses. It is all smaller companies like me who are family run and family owned, and they're the ones that are really being hit hardest by the recession and by this inflation. So part of what you're seeing with this is all these stores are closing because most of the companies that own the real estate that our stores are located on are increasing the rent exponentially on some of these small businesses. There's a friend of mine that owns a small business who is now paying almost $7,000 a month for a 2,000 square foot space in what I wouldn't say is the most prominent location in the entire area. So it's really crazy to see these numbers going up, because part of the problem there is everyone is tightening their budgets and spending less money. So by spending less money, our small businesses are seeing a decrease of cash sales and cash flow coming in the door. So you kind of create a little bit of a perfect storm there where our rent prices are going up, but the amount of money people are spending is actually going down along with the average transaction. So another thing that kind of plays into this entire situation is inflation increasing. So inflation doesn't just affect how much we have to charge for our product, it also affects what we are paying on the front side for all the raw materials and for the items that we purchase. So we can't pass all of that directly on to the customer. So what we see is our profit margins start to decrease over time because of this inflation. So I'll give you, for instance, I've got a product that we bring into the store to help make my product. And when we started, this barrel, for lack of a better word, was about $600. And now it's on its way to $1,000. And I can't just say, okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just pass that on to the customer because my product would be so costly that no one would spend the money to buy it. So all that happens is my margin gets decreased just to continue operating. So along with this inflation, another thing that I think you see a lot of across the mall structure, like we're in an outdoor mall, so it's not necessarily as bad as you may see with some of the indoor malls or some of the other shopping plazas, but with people spending less money, that means just less shoppers across the board. So less shoppers across the board means less overall demand for our product. So you take these couple of things together, and that's a big reason why you're seeing a lot of these stores going out of business and closing, because our costs are going up, our cost of materials are going up, but people are spending less money and they're going shopping less. So these things kind of come together and create a really difficult situation for us. Another kind of problem associated with all of this is increased wait times on our raw materials. There's a business across from mine who has been waiting on vent hoods to open up a restaurant for almost a year. We're talking about, vent hoods. We're talking about a pipe with 4 pieces of stainless steel around it, and they've been waiting almost a year. And the thing is, these gigantic retail conglomerates that own these malls and these strip malls and these locations, they set a date for when your rent starts, and if you're not open, you're paying rent. So these poor guys have been paying rent for on their way to a year while they wait for vent hoods, and it's something completely out of their control. At my other store, what we had happen was the August opening for the store was pushed back to mid-December because we were waiting on plate glass windows for the front window of the building. Plate glass. I mean, we're not even talking about some fancy technological thing that is proprietary and only one company can make it, so everybody's waiting for this one thing. It's just glass. So yeah, you're seeing that across the spectrum where our wait times for materials are larger. So that also doesn't help with the bottom line that we see as small businesses. And I think really the kind of hot button topic is labor cost. Everyone is seeing all of these different places where they want to increase the minimum wage to $15 an hour, or in some places I've seen $17, $18 an hour. How do small businesses navigate that? You get some of these larger companies, and they're in the same retail space that I'm in when it comes to the mall that we're in, where they're starting employees with the labor shortage at $18, $19 an hour, because they are massive national food companies who bring in more in revenue in one day than I make in 5 years, so they can afford to do that. But a small business like mine, I'm having to pay high school kids a fairly significant amount to do the minimum menial labor jobs, which again, now you're looking at just another place where I'm fighting these large national companies who have billions and billions of dollars for the same employee pool, and they're winning because they can afford to make all these offers and all these benefits that us as small business owners just don't have access to. So it just kind of creates this perfect storm where all these small businesses are closing because you take increased rent, inflation, less people shopping, less demand for our product, longer wait times for our raw materials, and we're having to pay the employees we can find a significantly higher amount than what they're creating and putting out themselves. So that's really why you're seeing all these little mom and pop shops and all these smaller businesses close, and why you will continue to see companies like Amazon and some of these huge multinational conglomerates continue to thrive and succeed, because the benefits that they have of being these massive companies are going to drive them to success, where the little guys like me are going to really make it as far as we can, but it's a difficult situation. So that's really the biggest thing that I was wanting to talk about today with you guys. So make sure you're going out and supporting small businesses. And if you're a small business owner or somebody who frequents small business, leave a comment and tell me what your experience is, if you feel the experience is the same as what I'm feeling. And as always, if you guys could comment and subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate your help. That would mean a ton to me. So thanks so much and have a great day.